Hi, and welcome back to Musicians Edition Practice with me for Flute. I'm your teacher, Risa, and today we're working in the Rubank intermediate method for flute or piccolo, and we're on Two Part Invention today by Bach on page 46, looking at part 1. Now, before we go any further, do take note. We have this one, and we have one other duet, and we are done with this book. So make sure you get your advanced book 1 so you're ready when we're ready too. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the piece. Two-part invention. Okay, now take note, this time signature is 3/8. Now I know we've worked on mainly 6/8, not too many 3/8s, but 3/8s we're still counting in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, with the 8th note still getting the beat. Okay, so it'll be like our 6/8 time, just counting in 3. Take note also that this piece is pretty fast. We're not going to take it that fast today for the video purposes, but do practice up to tempo on your own. So the plan is we're going to take this nice and slow, and we're going to play it together as a duet, slow. When you're practicing on your own, take it up to tempo. If you're playing with another person, also make sure to play it at tempo. There are many places you can play along as a duet at tempo too. Here's a video for you if you want to play along to tempo. All right. So let's go ahead and let's just sight read this. So before we sight read, take a look at our key signature and just take a quick sweep on any accidentals or rhythms that may be challenging, real quick. All right, let's go ahead and sight read this. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. So you can see already probably where you probably need some work. So no worries, we're gonna break this down line by line so we don't miss anything. So first, let's take a look at line 1, okay? This line is not too bad, okay? It just gets a little harder when it's in the higher register, but we can get it with practice. So let's go ahead and play line 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Kind of started us off a little faster than I wanted to, okay? So we're gonna staccato on those 8th notes, keep them nice and short. We gotta watch our slurs and watch our sharps. So watch that G sharp there, equivalent to what? Same fingering as A flat. So let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. All right, perfect. And remember, even when my speeds feel faster, these are actually a lot slower than what they need to be. So keep that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and move on to line 2. Okay, this might be a section where some people were thrown off, going from that high F to that G sharp. So you might need to just take a little time to work on that transition. And it does go back up to that F, so that's a good way to just... Right? Just so you can get used to that transition.
This lesson is brought to you by the Musician's Edition practice book. Make goals and keep track of progress throughout the whole year. When you're done with this video lesson, don't forget to mark this practice time in your Musician's Edition practice book. Now back to the video.
All right, let's go ahead and do line 2. 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. This is where the scales really comes in handy because a lot of this is just a scale run, right? So practicing your scales will really help with this piece too because it's what it is. Okay, so let's do line 2 again. 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. And right now, since we're doing it slowly, it's kind of hard to figure out where the breaths go and breathing, but when you're playing this more towards tempo, it's a little bit easier to squeeze more in with one breath, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at line 3 now, okay? We do have some rests, which kind of feel like a relief and helps with breathing. So let's go ahead and give this a try. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. That line's not too difficult, right? Let's do it one more time for good luck. 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. All right, let's look on to line 4, okay? We do have one measure that throws a lot of people off, and it is that measure 2 there. Because we have that 8th note in the middle, and remember, just hold that out. All right, let's go ahead and do this. 1, 2, 3. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and do it again. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next line. Now it starts to get a little bit harder. We have some more accidentals thrown in here, okay? Starting off with the trill. Oh, and this trill is just the ring finger. That's it. Easy trill. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this line a try. 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. Still some scale runs, a little bit more interval jumps on some of them, you know, starting at the next measures. So just take note, we're going from B to G, from measure 2 to measure 3, and then measure, what is that, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5, it's A to F. Okay, a little different there. All right, let's go ahead and give this line a try again. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's look at page 47 now, okay? This is where it starts to get even harder, right? We got F sharps, D sharps. Things just feel a little bit more out of place a little bit with those accidentals. So let's go ahead and give this a try. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, and you might need to even slow that down on your own time. like really get those down. Okay, so if you need to do that, I mean, by all means, do that with your own time, get that down, speed it up, okay? Let's go ahead and do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's take a look at line 2 from page 47. This here is probably the hardest line. Okay, just the jump from the A to the high G to F sharp, E, D sharp, and C sharp. A lot of sharps happening here. So let's actually play this really slow. 1, 2, 3. All right, sorry, I was just going to those two. Okay, that probably needs that kind of speed to really lock that in. Take it nice and slow, get that down, speed it up. All right, we'll play this whole line slow, not as slowly because it does kind of need to go faster a little bit and I need to kind of keep the rhythm the same or the tempo the same. So just give it your best shot and then just to know, really work on that spot to slow it down, take it note by note. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, I still took that really slowly. Kind of need to speed it up a little bit more. So let's do still. 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. So really take time to practice that section. All right, the next section, still a difficult spot, especially in measure 1 and 2 of line 3. Okay, so we're coming in on E natural and then going up to high D sharp, which feels weird. Okay, so just take note of those and then our rhythms a little bit too. So let's go ahead, give this whole line a try, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent. I have a little bit harder time playing it that slow, but it is important to get the notes in and try to get those rhythms in. Okay, so you might have to practice that really slowly too and then speed that up. All right, let's do it again a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's look at line 4, page 47, okay? Now it kind of gets back a little bit, shifting into things that feel like what we've already played, so it gets a little bit easier. All right, let's go ahead and give this a try. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. So you can see that it goes back into things we've already done. Okay, let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. And now we're on to that last line, and this one can be a little tricky too, just where we have those sharps and some naturals and stuff. So one thing to take note of on measure 1, we have that G sharp. Make sure that other G is sharp. It gets missed a lot. All right. And then we have back down to naturals in measure 3 and then a sharp in measure 4. So let's go ahead and give this a try. This song does ritardendo there, second to last measure. For video's sake, we're not doing that. It's a little challenging, but if you are playing along with a pianist or another flutist or whatever, make sure you follow each other and you do that retardando. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and play. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Make sure you hold that dotted eighth note out long enough in that measure 2 as well. All right, let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's go ahead, do this together from beginning to end, and then we will do it as a duet. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's go ahead. We're going to do this as a duet. So I'm going to do the bottom part. You continue with the top part. All right, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. So it's a pretty fun piece, very challenging. And remember, today we did it much slower than what it needs to be. So make sure you keep practicing this, practice those difficult sections, really speed this up because we took this much slower, but it's enough for us to get to play together and to get us started. All right, so keep up the good work. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, notifies, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our practices. Thanks for joining, and until next time.